Welcome to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We are back to celebrate the holidays at Walt Disney World, and what a great adventure we had. Now, it rained for most of the adventure on this very first party of the year, but we had a great time and started it off here at Space Mountain for the very cool holiday overlay. Now, this overlay is awesome. Not only do you get these really cool lights throughout Space Mountain, but you hear the soundtrack of the holidays, and it's more of like a rock and roll Christmas kind of soundtrack where what's really cool is you can actually see the track as you're going for some moments here and there, which changes the ride entirely. Very, very cool experience. Highly recommend it for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Love those lights as you dip down there at the very, very end. So cool. Now, as we continued along the adventure, you'll notice that some of the lights were already out during the Tomorrowland Speedway experience. And right at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, we had the opportunity to get our first cookie and hot cocoa of the night. Got a snickerdoodle and a hot cocoa. Delicious. These treats are available throughout the Magic Kingdom on the party night. Tons of fun and different cookies in different locations. Now, we went to that Tomorrowland Speedway holiday overlay, and this one is relatively new at Walt Disney World, but tons of fun nonetheless, and they keep adding a little bit here and there. I'm actually going to show you the experience as we go through, and you'll see Tron is actually running at night during the party, which is so cool. It's not open yet, but it will be before you know it. Now, during this experience, we drove around in those cars. There was music, holiday music playing, but the real thing to experience here was the actual just driving through and seeing the things, right? The lights along the track here, some of those projections, the gifts there, right there on the side as you're driving through. So cool. And then, of course, seeing Tron again as you're on this experience. That's something I definitely love. Now, it was pouring rain, so I got wet as we're just driving through here, but it was still a fun time. I don't recommend doing it in the rain if you can prevent it. So if you can wait it out just a little bit, that would definitely be the way to go. But nonetheless, it was a ton of fun and one I recommend. It was actually a walk-on when I went. Now, one of the other holiday overlays is the one at the Mad Tea Party, the teacups. And you'll actually see the lights are a little bit different and the music is definitely changed when you go to this experience. Tons of fun for the whole family. Now, you'll notice the Cinderella Castle has now got the special snowflakes on it projected right now. I'm looking forward to the Dreamlights returning, hopefully one day soon. But as you see at the very beginning of the party, the crowds are very intense, especially right around the hub as we're all waiting for that first stage show to begin. Now, you do have the opportunity to go on those rides that you love for a really low wait time during your experience. That will definitely save you time if you do want to go on these rides and don't want to wait in those super long lines. You can do that. It's the party experience that's totally up to you. Now, here's another one of those treat experiences that we went to. You'll see another cookie. This is the chocolate chip cookie at Columbia Harbor House, where we got our hot cocoa and cookies, and then we saw that very special Mickey's Once a Christmas Time parade, and what a spectacular parade it is. The different characters are out in different outfits. There's Winnie the Pooh. They're all moving around, having a great time. Mickey and Minnie there as well, singing holiday songs and definitely making you feel the spirit of the season. I love this parade, and a lot of people do like to wait for it, especially the first one. One of the good tips that I'd like to give, if you have a large party with you or you really want to get that front row seat, you do have to wait in advance of the parade, right? Maybe it could be 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you really want that front row seat. If you want something on Main Street, you may have to wait a little bit longer. So it all depends on the party and how crowded it is. But if you want to see a less crowded parade, wait for the second showing of the parade. The first showing is always more crowded, no question about it. But if that first showing does happen, the second showing, and I'm saying does happen because of the weather here, the second showing will be far less attended, right? So more people will leave after the fireworks. So what happens is you have a parade and then fireworks and then a parade again. So if you can stay for that second parade, you will be treated to far fewer people along the parade route, which is great, especially if you have those little ones with you who maybe want to see those characters. But on the flip side, maybe the little ones want to go to sleep before 11. So that's also understandable. You know, something to definitely consider as you're thinking about this experience. I love the special characters that you can see as you're watching the parade. So much fun to see all those great characters. You'll see Clarabelle, some of those gingerbread men. Of course, one of my favorites are the toy soldiers, which we'll see a little bit later. But you can see there's tons of cast members making the experience fun for the entire family. One of the most common questions I hear every single year: where should we stand for the parade? What happens if we want to stay on a ride a little bit later? We don't get a chance to go to the parade early enough to get that front row seat on Main Street USA or right by the hub. hub. The solution is pretty simple. Go further down in the parade route. So I'm here in Frontierland where I didn't wait that long at all. I'm going to say it was about 20 minutes, but the reality is you probably want to get there at least 40, 45 minutes prior to the parade, just because, the rain is going to affect it and the number of crowds are going to affect it, right? So if you're seeing the Christmas party really, really close to the holidays, it's going to be a very different experience than if you see it earlier, like in November. So it's something to consider when you're thinking about going to this parade. But Frontierland's one of my favorites. The parade route does start all the way back here in Frontierland. So if you're looking for a good seat for, maybe younger ones who, aren't going to be able to see over everybody's heads, then I would recommend coming around here to Frontierland. It's true, Main Street does have other advantages like snow coming down, depending on, the time of year, but it is it's still a good spot here in Frontierland. And you'll notice the lighting is really good here too. So for someone who loves photography and taking video, I love this spot right here, right by the Country Bear Jamboree, because all the characters are really well lit. Super cool, fun little tidbit there for those who are thinking about taking photos as well. Tons of other characters here, but again, one of my all-time favorites to see every single year are those toy soldiers, and I love seeing them marching along Main Street USA all along this parade route. They sound awesome just because they're all marching in unison, all making that sound at the same time with the costumes kind of moving along. Really cool. Love this parade so much, and I have a feeling a lot of families love it too, because they always get a big cheering applause as they come on down wherever they are on the parade route. Now, of course, we're going to end this parade by seeing the one, the only, the man of the hour, the one who brings us all those gifts every single year. It's St. Nicholas himself. Santa Claus makes his way down this parade route as well. For all the good boys and girls, he's waving right at you as he's making his way down. Really cool experience, and everybody loves seeing Santa as this parade comes to a close. But that is the end of it. Now, as you make your way back towards Main Street USA, at this point, you're going to want to move pretty quickly, especially if you're by Frontierland, to the hub area for those fireworks. Everyone's basically going to be doing the same thing because everyone wants to see the fireworks. It only happens once during the party, but these fireworks are ones that I would recommend extremely highly. At the time of this recording, I believe these are some of the best fireworks at the Magic Kingdom right now. So definitely worth seeing the Minis Magical Christmas Time fireworks, I believe is what they're called, and they are a ton of fun. Now, as we go ahead and experience this fireworks celebration, you'll notice that they have the projections going, the special light effects, and of course the music, which kind of follows along with the story of Minnie Mouse kind of sharing in the holidays with everyone. Now, the fireworks show itself is outstanding. I absolutely love this one. The projections, the music, the fireworks timing, everything about it really just makes you feel the holiday season as you're ready to experience this amazing show. Now, this is a little bit different than the holiday show we've had in the past. You'll notice the projections, I think, are actually a bit better on Cinderella Castle. Sometimes those projections I feel like are not as good, but certain ones I think are really, really good. One of my favorites is actually coming up right here, where the castle glows and kind of sings the songs with you. Dun, 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 dun. It's so cool to see like it all beaming up with light. Everybody loves this part of the fireworks experience here, and being able to get this spot for the fireworks is just so much fun. Now, where do you stand for these fireworks? It's a great question. There are a lot of options. You could be closer to the hub, right? I'm standing basically right behind Walt Disney, right? So on that little hill behind where he is. You'll notice my Magic Band Plus is lighting up with the show, which is pretty cool. But that's a good spot right there. I love that spot a lot, especially for these fireworks. But for perimeter fireworks, you may want to stand further back so you can see more of those perimeter fireworks going off. Either way, you're going to have a good view. Anywhere basically from where I'm standing all the way back towards the beginning of Main Street USA. It's all great spots right there. You're definitely going to enjoy it. Now, being able to see the castle is important for this show just because those projections, I really do feel, make the experience. The little teddy bears moving the castle, which is really, really cool. And the small sparkler fireworks you see on the castle itself. It's all really, really cool. The other areas to see the fireworks, if maybe you're at a super crowded party and you don't have an opportunity to stand right here, I would recommend somewhere where you can see the castle. Fireworks are going to be amazing. They may be a little off center depending on where you are if it's a super crowded experience, but as long as you can see the castle and see those projections and hear the music, you'll be in really good shape. It's an amazing show that I cannot recommend highly enough. Now, during this party, Disney does what they can to try and work with the weather, right? On this specific party, we had a ton, and I mean a ton, of rain. I was looking at the forecast in advance and said, you know what? what? I'm not going to need my umbrella. Guess what? I needed my umbrella and I did not bring it. And so I got soaked along with a lot of other people who were at this party. Goes to show you can learn the lesson once, but clearly you have to learn it multiple times in order to be prepared for all the Florida weather, which does indeed happen. Now, I had an opportunity to experience some of the indoor locations while we were waiting for some of the rain to stop. Eventually, it did stop, and then it started up again at the very, very end. But some of those characters really do their best to make you feel super magical for the holidays, and maybe the country bears dancing around, waiting for you. But as long as they can do the fireworks show and at least one of the parades, they usually call it a success at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and I do too. It was a ton of fun. You can't control the weather, but that's just what happens. Unfortunately, for the very end of the party, we were going to see Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time a parade again, but unfortunately, and you can hear from the announcement coming up, that they were not able to do that.
Due to inclement weather, we are unable to present Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. But Mickey and his friends would love to see you, and they invite you to join them in a sparkling splash of fun as we present the Magic Kingdom Rainy Day Christmas Cavalcade.
But needless to say, still had a fantastic time. Really enjoyed it. It's a party that I highly recommend. And for a family of four, you're going to be spending a lot of money for this party. So the question is it worth it? In my opinion, if you enjoy the holidays and you really want to experience this party, then yes, I think it is. But being sure to make the most of the party is really, really important. It is expensive, but I believe this one is absolutely worth it. Thanks for experiencing this one with me today. If you love Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, let me know in the comments below. Love to hear from you. Thanks again for being a part of it with me. And until next time, have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.